The next step is to figure out how to make adjustments because, like I said, in some cases the computer may stall, it may time out, it may not pump the appropriate amount of chemicals. So as a pool director, you've got to come to the consensus and figure out how to actually pump the chemicals in by hand, which is step one, but then how many chemicals to pump. For example, if we took our pH test and we measured 8 parts per million, or 8.0 for our pH. If we measure 8.0, that's at the high end of our legal level. We certainly would have some eye issues and some skin irritation. So I want to get my 8.0 back down to a 7.5, which is ideal. So the question that we ask ourselves is, how much hydrochloric acid or muriatic acid do we have to pump into the pool in order to bring our pH level from 8.0 to 7.5? We use these worksheets that are provided to us in our courses that we have to take to become certified pool operators. One of the calculations that you need is you need to know how many gallons your facility will hold. In Mahonison Swimming Pool, we hold 236,000 gallons. So that has already been provided for you on your worksheet. Step number one is to figure out what our adjustment is. In this case, we want to change our pH from 8.0 to 7.5. So our adjustment is going to be 0.5. The next number is going to be provided for you. It's provided by a formula worksheet that is given to us when we take our certified pool operator course. That formula is the dosage required formula to decrease pH. In this case, we are simply going to plug in 0.2 because, like I said, that number is provided to us. The amount of the chemical that we're going to be calculating with would be 12 fluid ounces. From here, we start with simple math. We're going to take 0.5 and divide that by 0.2. Take a minute and do that yourself. After you've done 0.5 divided by 0.2, you're going to come up with the answer of 2.5. The next step, step number 4, we're going to take 236,000 divided by 10,000, and we come up with 23.6. Now at this point in time, what we're going to do is we're going to take 12 times 2.5 times 23.6, and we're going to come up with 708. Now the question is, what 708 of what? In this case, we are coming up with fluid ounces because that is the unit of measurement that we're using to measure muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid. So we have 12 fluid ounces times 2.5 times 23.6, and we come up with 708 fluid ounces. Using the formula on the top of your sheet, you will try to convert fluid ounces into gallons. The way to do that is take your 708, divide it by 128, and that will give you your answer of how many gallons of acid we need to put into the pool to decrease our pH from 8.0 to 7.5. And the answer is 5.5 gallons. Now, it's important to understand that I'm not going to take 5.5 gallons and dump it into the pool all at one time, because at that point in time, any quick dosage of chemicals could really cause issues for me later on. So what I'll do to start off with is I might broadcast around the outside of the pool, again with nobody in it, 2 gallons of muriatic acid. In an hour, I will return and I'll test. That will give this pool time to circulate that acid that I put into the water. If I still need to lower my pH a little bit more, I might add another 2 gallons into the water. Again, come back in an hour and test. By that point in time, I should see a significant decrease in my pH, but I'm not doing it so quickly that it is impossible to reverse, because in the event that I dump 5.5 gallons of acid into the pool all at one time, and my pH begins to drop and suddenly it's down in the 6.8, 6.9 range, it becomes unsafe at that low level, and now I've got a balancing problem. So I always want to do it slow, and I always want to broadcast any chemical that I'm using.